Hello everyone, as you know, tomorrow UNM Gallup is closed, so I decided to solve these three questions. I wanted to solve this on Monday, so these three questions are important, and with this we are going to close chapter 3, and I'm assuming that you are going to watch this lecture, so I'm not going to repeat this anymore. And if you have any question, you should bring your question to the class on Wednesday. We are going to review for the exam. Okay, so it says find an equation of a line that passes through -4 and 1 and this one. So we have 2 points. Let's say this one is point 1, this one is point 2. Express your answer in a slope-intercept form. So what was in a slope-intercept form? When we have y equal mx plus b, this was the slope-intercept form because b is the intercept and m is the slope. So we have 2 points. From these 2 points, definitely we are able to find the slope of the line. So let's say if this is our point 2, this is our point 1, this is x1, this is y1. This is x2, this is y2. So slope is y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1 equal to. So instead of y2, I'm writing down -3 minus, instead of y1, we have 1. Instead of x2, I have -2 minus, instead of x1, we have -4. So I have -4 divided by -4 divided by -2 plus 4 is positive 2. So we have -2 and this is the slope. Okay, so what is y-intercept? So y-intercept is a line with x equals 0 and b. Okay, as you see, I don't have this point 0b. So what should I do? So I couldn't use this formula, but still we have another formula. What was that? Y minus y1 equal to m multiply x minus x1. If you remember, we call this a slope point formula. So in a slope point formula, we replace y1, x1, m. So now what is y1? So we chose this one as a first point, correct? And as you see, we have y1, x1. So let's write down 1 equal to, we found the slope already to be -2, multiply x minus x1 is -4. So what I have here is y minus 1 equal -2. Multiply x. And look at this. This should be x plus 4, correct? So if I multiply -2 to this x, I have -2x. If I multiply this -2 to 4, I will have -8, right? And then I'm going to bring this to the other side. So adding 1 to both sides will give us y equal to -2x minus 8 plus 1, right? And then I will write down y is equal to -2x minus 7. And this is the equation of line for us. So obviously, we couldn't solve this with a slope intercept formula. I used a slope point formula. And now the formula I have is already in a form of a slope intercept. So what is our intercept? 0 and -7, because this is b and this was our slope. Okay, so this one was the question that I wanted to solve for you. And then now look at this one, this question. It says find an equation of a line that passes through 4 and -5 and is parallel to the line 5x minus 3y equal 10. Express your answer in a standard form. Okay, so as I see here, I have a point here. This is 1 point for me. And then I have a line here with this formula. So let's call this L1. 5x minus 3y equal 10. So if I want a line parallel to this L1, I should have the slope of L1. So if I have a slope of L1, because the relation is parallel, so M1 is equal to M2, means a slope of the first line is equal to a slope of the second line. So I want a slope here. What is M? Let's say M1. How we can find this? If I write this down in a form of y equal mx plus b, I can find the slope, correct? The slope is M. So let's do this. Negative 3y equal to 10 minus 5x. And then look at this, we have just y without any coefficient, so I should get rid of that 3. So divide everything by negative 3. I will have 10 divided by negative 3 minus 5 divided by negative 3 x. Compare with this. Okay, if you want to say, let's put mx at first and then this one second. So let's organize this too. So we know negative 5 over negative 3 is positive 5 over 3 x minus 10 over 3. So what is the slope of line 1? M1 is 5 over 3, correct? Because this is exact same as this form I want. Okay, so I have a slope of the first line. If L1 is parallel to L2, then M1, slope 1 is equal to a slope 2, correct? So what is M2? M2 is 5 over 3. Am I right? Yeah, because it should be same as M1, correct? So now, we have a slope of the second line. And if you go back to the question, it says find an equation of a line that passes through this point. So we said, okay, this unknown line is L2, correct? I want an equation for L2. What is the L2? Equation for L2. I know that the slope is this one, okay? M2 equal 5 over 3. And then I know one more thing about this line. This point, I have the point of 4 and negative 5. I have two information about this line. So I should be able to use a slope point formula to draw equation or write an equation for line 2. So this is a slope point formula. Y minus, the point here is y1. This point here is x1. Am I right? Because it's a point, correct? You can label it like this. So instead of y1, I'm writing down negative 5 equal to, instead of a slope, let's write down 5 over 3. And then instead of x1, let's write down 4. And then now organize everything. Y plus 5 equal 5 over 3 x. And then negative 4 also multiplies to 5 over 3. So what I'm doing, distributing this to each term in this parenthesis. And then I have phi equal to 5 over 3x. So what I'm doing here, I'm going to bring this 5 to the other side. Okay, so we are subtracting 5 from both sides, correct? 4 multiply 5 over 3 minus 5. We subtracted 5 from both sides. Okay, let's take care of this. 4 multiply 5 is 20, 20 over 3, correct? So instead of this one, I can write down 20 over 3, right? And then, what should I do here? Combine these two, correct? These are two constant. I'm going to combine them. So let's put that here. Negative 20 over 3 minus 5. Okay, so let's say this 5 was 15 over 3. Can I say that? Because 15 over 3 is 5, right? Instead of 5, I'm going to write down 15 over 3. I'm doing this before I teach you the LCD, least common denominator. So instead of 5, I wrote down 5 over 15. And then now these two have the same denominator. Negative 20 minus 15 is 35. Negative 35 over 3. So the line will be y equal to 5 over 3x minus 35 over 3, because I combined these two to get this and then replaced it. So now if you look at the question, it says express the answer in a standard form. Means if you found the line 2, which is this one, now make it like a standard form. So if you remember, for the standard form, I said x and y with all their coefficient goes to one side and the constant is staying on the other side. So I'm going to multiply all the numbers, all the terms here by number 3. So because I want to get rid of the denominator. So I will have 3y equal to 5x minus 35. Because I multiplied 3 to this one, this one, this one. So these two cancels. I have negative 3y. Then I'm going to bring this one to the other side. So I'm subtracting 5x from each side. So this goes to the other side. Equal to negative 35. And this is the standard form, or this is the equation for line 2. Okay, so I hope I didn't have any mistake anywhere. So let me just look at everything. So we had 5x minus 3y equal 10, and this was the equation of the first line. And then I said we can keep this here, 10 minus 5x, bring the 5x to the other side, and then divide everything by negative 3. So obviously 10 divided by negative 3, negative 5x divided by negative 3 gives us 5x 3 over 3. And then we have negative 10 over 3, and then a slope is 5 over 3. And then we have a line which we don't have the equation for, but we know the line is parallel to the previous line. So if a slope was 5 over 3, a slope of second line is 5 over 3. But we have another information about that line. We know there is a point on this line, and the point has x1, y1. So if you want to find the equation for this line, the best formula is a slope point formula, this formula. So instead of y1, we replace negative 5. Instead of x1, we replace 4. And instead of m, we have 5 over 3. And then we multiply 5 over 3 to x, 5 over 3 to 4. So it seems everything is correct. So 5 over 3x minus 20 over 3 minus 5. Then we combine these two. We had negative 35 over 3. And then this is the equation we have, but they asked us to make it like a standard form. So that's why we multiplied everything by 3. And here it is. We just organize this. This is a standard form. So the standard form is 3y minus 5x equal negative 35. I'm going to clean this now. Okay, so the next question says, find an equation of a line that passes through this point and is perpendicular to the line, this one. So we had a line L1 with this formula, and then to find a perpendicular line to this one, we should know the slope of this line. So let's organize this the way we did in a previous question. So I want to organize it in a way that I can bring out the slope. So I'm going to subtract 6x from each side to make it like a slope intercept form. So divide everything by 3. We have 7 over 3 minus 6 over 3x. Y equals 7 over 3 minus 2x. Okay, so let's bring this, and this is a slope intercept formula. So M1 for the first line is 2, right? So now we have another line. Line 2 is perpendicular to line 1. If it happens, M2 is equal to -1 over M1, right? So from here, we can find M2 to be -1 over this slope for first line. So obviously M2 is 1 over 2. And then this is the information of the second line. We have the slope of the second line, and we had a point. Let's say this point has x1 and y1, correct? Because it says the second line is passing through this point, and it's perpendicular to the first line. So we have these two information. Let's again use the formula for slope point, because we have a slope and we have a point. So y minus, instead of y1 we should put 3. Instead of a slope we have 1 over 2. Instead of x1 we have -4. And now let's solve this to find the organized relation. So you can do 1 over 2 plus 4. Okay, so that is because I wanted to first make it positive. So y minus 3 is equal to 1 over 2x plus 4 multiplied 1 over 2 is 2, right? Then I'm going to bring this to the other side, means we are adding 3 to both sides. 1 over 2x plus 2 plus 3. So what we have, y equal 1 over x, 1 over 2x plus 5. Again, they said make it like a standard form. Okay, so what we should do, we should make it like a standard form. How? Multiply both sides by everything by 2. So we have 2y equal to x plus 10. Multiply 2 to this one, to this one, to this one. Get rid of this 2. 2 multiply 5 is 10. 2 multiply y is 2y. And then we should bring x to the other side, means subtracting x from the both sides. And this will be... Okay, so I hope you watched all this video, and as I said, I'm not going to talk about this in the class anymore. We are just going to review and solve more questions. So I already assume that you will review this, and I will bring more questions to the class on Wednesday as a review for the exam, and we will go through chapter 1, 2, 3. Take care. We'll see you on Wednesday.